Hello there and welcome to the program. You are quite in time to join us in exploring the world. And today we'll take you to London as well as Hargeisa city in Somaliland. And in Kenya, there is something special for you on my Magical Kenya segment. This is what is coming up. Kenya and friends in the park.
Even though last year it was totally shut down, we still did it virtually.
How London-based event organizer Lydia, Olet and team have pulled it off again despite COVID-19. In Somaliland, meet James Anyona, one of the most sought-after Kenyan specialists in security systems. And on my Magical Kenya,
Kenyan market is very resilient from a domestic tourism point of view.
Why domestic flights are key as the peak season sets in. Great, let's begin in London, where we are featuring Lydia Olet, an artist and a social networking enthusiast who is part of a team that has been organizing an annual event that is known as Kenya and Friends in the Park. And they've pulled it off again despite the COVID-19 pandemic. There was fun. Lydia Olet and her colleague Mercy Kiminta in high spirits during the just concluded Kenya and Friends in the Park, an annual come-together event in London. Lydia is the founder and CEO of Kenya and Friends in the Park. About 4,000 people attended the event. There were over 15 exhibitors from various sectors, including the hospitality industry, the property sector, education, charities, and financial institutions. It is a feel-good event whose aim, according to Lydia, is to bring Kenyans together.
What happened is, there's a lady, I'll never forget, there's a lady and she was only 28 years old. She actually committed suicide saying that she's lonely. And I was thinking, wow, someone is lonely to the point of them killing themselves, because that's the note she left behind. And I said, it is true, because here in the UK or in diaspora in general, it's just you're working, so you don't have friends. You just, if you don't have children, especially if you don't have family, you're by yourself. There's a lot of people in diaspora, even here in the UK, who are found in the house dead by themselves. And I'm talking about Kenyans because I'm a Kenyan. So, and there's other communities as well. It's the same. And the reason why that happens is because we are so lonely, we are all by ourselves. So I started Kenya and Friends in the Park because I was like, I want somewhere that even though it's once a year, but that once a year you meet with so many people. You know, some people left Kenya a very long time ago when there was no mobiles, there was no this. So people meet in Kenya in the Park that have not seen each other for 20 years, 15 years. So they rekindle that relationship again.
There is also the cultural aspect of it.
Children in the UK, some of them don't even know their culture. Some of them don't even speak their language. So now, when they come to Kenya in the Park and they see all this, and they're like, wow. And when they see that, they think that's how Kenya is.
The event is also meant for networking.
I wanted people to invest back home, because what happens is we send so much money is being sent from diaspora.
Many Kenyans living abroad have burnt their fingers investing back home. Some have even lost money sent home for investment through friends, relatives, and unfaithful institutions. This event provides a forum to rethink how to deal with that challenge.
So I said, if we have something like Kenya in the Park, and then we bring investors in, we bring all these real estate people in, all these land developers in. So you don't need to send money to your parents anymore or your sister or whoever. You can just go to them, talk to them, and now you know that, oh, I'm safe. I really have a real house, not a fake house.
We are here at Kenya Friends in the Park. We're sponsoring this event for last couple of years. So that's our like a 5th, 6th year we're supporting this event.
So UK Diaspora Circle is an investment vehicle that encourage you as an individual to save money regularly and also to invest. It also is a vehicle to put into a community that can help you whenever you have challenges, either financially, socially, and even physical challenges. And that is why we come together as Kenyans.
Lydia, whose background is in the performing arts, stumbled upon the idea while facilitating a dance workshop at one of the local schools.
Every time I went there, I used to see the culture. I see all these Ghanaians, and they're cooking and they're eating, and there's maize outside and there's this. And I was just thinking to myself, wow, can't we as Kenyans have something like this?
Lydia is a dancer par excellence. Her first visit to the UK was in 1995 during a trip with the Mushrooms. She later relocated to the UK, enrolled for a diploma course in business management at Empire College, and later obtained a degree in business management from Cambridge University in London.
I do so many things in line of performing arts. So I'm an event organizer, I'm a producer, I'm an actress with Nollywood.
So let us pray. Amen.
Pray! Pray! Story, pray! You are an evil man! You finally managed to kill Apostle Dogood! You killed him! You killed Apostle Dogood! Leave me alone!
I teach culture in schools as well, because I've realized that in the UK, especially with our community, Black community per se, we've forgotten about our roots. We don't teach our children our culture. So I took it upon myself and I go to different schools in the mainstream and I teach about our culture.
Community work and dancing has taken the award-winning artist to all corners of the world, including the US, Canada, Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
I started dancing with Jabali Africa, and there's another one also that was called Dajo, and I also joined the Mushrooms.
Lydia is an alumnus of Nzio Girls in Machakos. She was brought up in Eastleigh, Nairobi. Her father worked with post office, while her mother was a businesswoman. Back to the Kenya and Friends in the Park event, and Lydia says it has not been easy due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, last year was really bad, 2020, because of course everything was shut down. Nobody could do anything, but we still managed to do the virtual event. We still managed to get at least up to 3,000 people within those 2 days that watched the event. And this year, there's a lot of ups and downs. Event is there, it's not there, it's here today, it's not there. And with Kenya and Friends in the Park, we've also managed to be in that line of it's here today, it's not there today. We've changed dates, because normally Kenya and Friends in the Park is a July affair. We changed dates to August. We changed months and dates. We changed parks. Today's in this park, tomorrow is in this park.
World Remit, a money transfer company with networks across the world, has played a key role in the event.
Well, we do have a lot of different sponsors from 2015, since the inception of Kenya and Friends in the Park. But our main sponsors have always been there with us every single year and every single journey is World Remit. World Remit have actually made this event possible. Even last year when we didn't have sponsors, because we were in pandemic, World Remit still came through for us and the event happened.
And the fun was not just in the park. It went online, with participants sharing their experiences on social media. Indeed, technology has broken barriers. That story leads us into a short break. When we return, we will bring you yet another interesting story from Hargeisa city in Somaliland, where we met a Kenyan specialist in security systems. Don't go away.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about. How it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more. World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Welcome back. Time now for the second feature of our show. And in Hargeisa City, we met James Anyona, one of the most sought after security systems experts in Somaliland. Take a look.
Daring abroad is the best. Actually, I've been thinking because I also dare abroad.
Meet James Orenyo Anyona,
It was a God-given opportunity. We just made,
an electronics engineer specializing in security systems. He shuttles between Kenya and Somaliland. It is at Damal Hotel in Hargeisa City where he has been working on some security installations.
Hapa ndio nafanya.
James is all set to walk me through his work at the hotel.
Inside the lift, I've done the lift access control system, such that we can control people going to the rooms. So this is my access control system.
Yes.
So if you don't have the card, you should not be able to access the room where the hotel rooms are.
Yeah.
Immediately you are at your floor, you go to your specific room. So if you do like that, you get in. Now you can realize inside, it is dark. It's not other than somebody put them off. If you don't have this my card, it will never go on. So immediately you are in, you drop the card there, and now everything is on.
James stays at the hotel, and inside his room, the gadgets tell his work. If he is not installing the security systems, you'll find him busy inspecting the fire alarm system together with his colleagues.
So once there is smoke here, this detector can pick and immediately sends the signal to the panel, then the panel sends the sounders. That is why you'll hear the fire alarm immediately.
James was born and raised in Kisii. He went to Cardinal Otunga High School, and in 2010, he obtained a diploma in electronics engineering from Kisumu National Polytechnic.
What mainly brought me to Hargeisa is maintenance. I'm a maintenance engineer. There are some devices I installed, beginning with the fire alarm system, the hotel lock system, and the lift access control system. So these devices needs a regular maintenance. I was employed in a company, so the company brought me here.
When?
That is way back 2016. After that, again, I gained the trust with the customers. So from time to time, they were calling me to come to maintain the system. Then now, afterwards, I operate my company, and that is how I get my customers. From my previous employers' customers, that is how I managed to get these customers. Yeah.
So you left in good faith?
Yeah, in good faith. We usually talk, we usually communicate. Actually, even now he knows I'm here. Sometimes I get some more contracts, I subcontract him. Sometimes he gets more contracts, subcontracts me.
Somaliland is a self-declared independent country in the Horn of Africa, bordering the southern coast of the Gulf of Aden. It is bordered by Djibouti to the northwest, Ethiopia to the south and west, and Somalia to the east. James says, contrary to perceptions, he found Somaliland to be very peaceful.
Apart from Hargeisa, we've worked at Rwanda, Marriott Hotel. We've gone to Kempis Hotel, that is Djibouti. We've worked at World Bank, Khartoum. We don't do sales. We don't go to sites now selling ourselves. Ours is references. So what we make sure, wherever you are sent, you do a perfect job. You do a good job. Then from where you get customers. And that is how we get customers. We've never slept hungry. At least we are getting our daily bread from there.
James added that he always feels at home because there are many Kenyans who work here, like Frederick Mbithi, who is a specialist in installation and maintenance of ATM machines. James also works closely with Barnabas Muse, who is a lift technician.
I'm the guy who initially installed the units that you can see here. There are 3 of them in this building and 1 outside there. Apart from the elevators, We are currently installing a new escalator, the first one in this country.
Jama Ali from Tanzania is James' supervisor.
Tuseme bana person James ni watu completely professional. Na tumekuja kujuana kwa ajili ya hizi mambo ya lift na alarm. Na ni watu ambao unaweza kuwaamini na wanafanya kazi yao, wanajua kitu wanafanya.
Working abroad has taught me so many things. One, that Kenya education, we are better off in the market, because apart from my skills, the word Kenya markets me a lot. They really know that Kenyans, they do their work perfect, they do their work better. So if you are a Kenyan and going abroad, if you're going to do a shorty job there, you are just spoiling our name, you are just spoiling the name of our country and maybe to your fellow engineers.
The daring Kenyan entrepreneur says he had to seek opportunities abroad because in Kenya there is a lot of competition.
For me, abroad is the best because when I'm here, I'm so marketable, and maybe whatever I get from here, I can't get it in Kenya. Because in Kenya, they know everything. Here, when I come, competition is very low. So my advice is, don't let your brain be limited to Kenya. Just try abroad. There are so many opportunities outside.
However, James still has one leg in Kenya, and he does similar jobs with his co-director, Godfrey Idalia. Their company is known as Nastec Technologies Limited. They have installed security systems in big companies and residential places in Nairobi.
My co-director, we started together. We worked together in some 3 companies, then we decided now, if these people can get these contracts, then we go work, they get money. Why can't we start our own company? We get our own customers, and that is how we started.
Kudos to James Anyona for those exemplary skills. We now move into the last segment of our show, My Magical Kenya. And today we are focusing on the link between domestic and international flights in boosting Kenya's tourism sector, with special attention to Safari Link Airline. Domestic tourism. That became a key focus of Kenya's tourism sector when the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted travel.
A lot of people who otherwise holiday internationally were unable to leave the country because of COVID restrictions to the popular destinations like London, Dubai, South Africa, the US, and so forth. And even some of the neighboring countries where Kenyans like to holiday, like Tanzania, Uganda, Zanzibar, were also pretty much affected. So we saw a lot of Kenyans who holiday internationally coming now looking for alternative holiday destinations in Kenya.
The Kenyan market has proved to be resilient.
In fact, Kenya is, according to IATA statistics, it's the 3rd country in Africa with the strongest domestic market. That's only after South Africa, Nigeria, then comes Kenya.
But where exactly are Kenyans flying to?
Typically, if you look at it from a safari point of view, then it's Masai Mara. It's really going to the parks. But if you look at it from the coastal point of view, then it's our Diani service. We launched Kisumu about 2 years ago, and it's really, really picked. And in fact, to the extent now we have 3 daily services. We have a service at 7 o'clock out of Nairobi, 11 o'clock out of Nairobi, and 5:45 p.m. Out of Nairobi.
The tourism sector is also registering an increase in international arrivals, given that this is peak season.
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, it's not like what it was in 2019. The second biggest market, source market for tourism is the UK for Kenya, and we're on their red list. So what we're seeing today is actually American tourists. So right now it's about 70-80% of the international tourists that we're seeing are Americans. And then followed, of course, by the other European countries, some Spaniards, Germans, Italians, French.
SafariLink, being Kenya's premier safari airline with a network of connecting domestic scheduled services to all the best safari destinations within Kenya and across the border into northern Tanzania, is reaping the benefits of the peak season.
On a typical day, we have at least 20 flights departing from here, and we'll have up to about 1,000 passengers flying through this very lounge.
With the new normal, travelers are keen on health protocols during their entire journey.
So as you walk into SafariLink, you'll notice that we have a hand wash unit, and then we have foot marks that guide on physical social distance. When we are airborne, we've advised our passengers to make sure that they have masks on.
That safety is even more assured if the checking in and boarding is hassle-free. SafariLink boasts of a lounge of its own kind that makes boarding seamless.
So typically, once you get in, you're in the lounge. We have, and in fact, I'll say this, world-class coffee in our lounge, because I have a lot of Italian and other European tourists who really love that coffee, and they actually say the best coffee they've had in Kenya is at Spring Valley coffee shop. From here, it's just boarding, and the aircraft is about 20 meters away, so it's very seamless.
It's very convenient, and it's easy. It's only one, you only check in once, your luggage and yourself, and that's all.
And amid hope in the air, SafariLink has entered into a code-sharing partnership with Kenya Airways that is expected to boost the link between international and domestic travel for holiday makers.
What this partnership with Kenya Airways allows is a tourist or an international traveler can book a ticket, let's say from New York, straight to Masai Mara. So with one ticket, and it's a win-win, because Kenya Airways does not fly into the parks. Sometimes, there might only be 3-4 people in the aircraft. For Kenya Airways, it would not be viable. But for us, with 4 or 5 people, we have aircraft that are suitable for that sort of number of passengers.
SafariLink flies to 17 destinations in the region.
Amboseli, we fly 2 to 3 times a day, and sometimes, depending on demand, obviously, then we'll have like even 6-7 flights to Amboseli. And the same also applies to the Mara. As you know, we also fly to Laikipia, which is Nanyuki and Samburu.
You see different things every day. Maybe today I'll be flying to the north, so you'll see Mount Kenya and the Aberdares. It's always nice to see that, especially when we're flying over Mount Kenya. So we fly over Nanyuki, which is where I'm from. So I fly over home.
My favorite is transitioning from Samburu to Mara. It's a very scenic flight, next to the Aberdares, the Nyandarua place, the waterfalls, Nakuru, the lakes. That's the best flight when you're doing Samburu to Mara. But Amboseli is also up there because of the mountain. Any lodges you stay there, you'll be seeing Mount Kilimanjaro.
Talk of Amboseli, and we at Chams Media have a share of that experience, or call it magic, which we will be sharing soon. You will love it. With that, we come to the end of the show. Always a pleasure having your company. But before I say bye-bye, allow me to share some sights and sounds from a bush dinner at Amboseli Safari Lodge, where I was given a special treat to mark my 50th birthday. Wow.
Demonstration.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.